Yeah, this one's a little complicated, but it ends up being a +2 for the Ninth Circuit. All right, so the way courts work in America is like there's federal courts in every state, and then if you don't like the ruling that the federal court gives you, it goes up to a court of appeals, and then there's 11 districts of the courts, and the one that Oregon is in the Ninth District, covering a bunch of the western states. So what happened is there's someone in the Spokane, Washington ICE detention center. So first of all, no, Trump passed a new ruling where he's saying that if ICE detains you, you're no longer allowed to have a bond hearing, which is you can request to go before a judge, and if you can convince him or her that you're not a flight risk, or maybe you're not really here illegally, or you have a legitimate reason why you could be released, then if you pay the bail or the bond, minimum of $1,500, but there's no maximum, it could go forever high. You could be released until your hearing or whatever. Of course, the judge could also just say no, and you have to stay detained. So, uh, so someone in Spokane who was detained sued, saying like, you can't deny me a bond hearing if I do have a right to go before a judge, because I thought America was a due process, and if you're detained doesn't mean you're guilty. So you should have a right to have a hearing, right? Anyway, so that guy won, the federal government lost, and then the federal government appealed the ruling to the Ninth District Court, these guys, and then they agreed with the detainees, saying like, no, you do actually have to let people have bond hearings. And so at this point, so anyone who's detained by ICE in one of the detention centers in the western states, they are still allowed to request bond hearings. Of course, ICE could detain someone in Oregon, and then ship them to one of the districts that have agreed with the Trump administration, saying no bond hearing. So if you're shipped to the 5th District, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, or the 8th District, these guys, the green ones, if you get detained in Oregon, you get shipped over here, you don't get any bond hearings, and then you're just detained until your final hearing, or who knows what's going to happen to you. So, so yeah, the middle part of the country, no bond hearings. Everyone else still allowed to have bond hearings. So we'll see what the Trump administration does if they appeal this decision and make it go all the way. The next step is the Supreme Court. If the Supreme Court wants to take it up and make a national ruling instead of a hodgepodge, because right now ICE could totally just get around it and build tons of detention centers in these two, and then ship everyone they capture here over there, and then they can permanently detain them. Yeah. So I mean, it's a pretty, I'd say, like, illegal order, and the reason why I give it a +2 to this Ninth District Court is because um, there could be tons of people in Oregon that are here legally that I thought they were illegal, and then they're detained, and they should at least have a right to go before a judge and get a bond hearing. Like, it's just, yeah. So there's just a lot of people in Oregon who are here legitimately that could be impacted by that. So I'll give them a +2 for this ruling.